Welcome to New Sky TV. It's blown away. Zhai Yiying's real kissing scene in Evening Breeze 2 has become the focus of attention. Overnight, the name Evening Breeze 2 flooded the Hangzhou platform, with pre-orders exceeding 100,000. The popularity curve soared like an out-of-control heartbeat. As soon as the behind-the-scenes photos were released, the comment section was already overrun. Rainy night kisses, sofa embraces, and close-up eye contact that made their breaths mingle were bombarded one after another. The sweet romance was no longer just a test, but a direct assault. Some people exclaimed that the scale has been upgraded, while others sensed a more dangerous signal. This time, the short drama is not just about sweetness, but about pushing emotions to the limit. As a sequel, Evening Breeze 2 is clearly not content to repeat the safe zone. The ambiguity and restraint left by the first season have been dismantled, amplified, and recombined in the second season, with the emotional density compressed into every glance and pause. The production team is smart. They know that the success of a short drama is not in its worldview, but in its heartbeat value, whether the audience is willing to stay for the next second after watching this second. Thus, all elements capable of igniting emotions were brought to the forefront, unmasked and uncompromising. Zhai Yiying, in particular, was the most reliable trump card in this emotional battle. Having honed her skills in over 50 short dramas, she's no longer an actress who relies on character settings. She understands how to establish a character within a very short time frame, and knows when to hold back and when to give more. Lin Zix's sweetness isn't superficial displays of affection, but rather a restrained and measured approach. Her tears aren't for sentimentality, but like a sincere exchange. I offer you my true feelings, so don't easily dismiss them. It's this repeatedly validated sense of trust that makes viewers willing to pre-order. Controversy followed. The choice of the male lead, the progression of the relationship, and the boundaries of intimate scenes were repeatedly scrutinized. Supporters said it was a necessary part of the character's growth, while critics worried that excessive emotional intensity would backfire on her reputation. Even before its official release, Evening Breeze 2 had already sparked a war of words. What's certain is that this time, it won't pass by quietly. It will either win even more frantic heartbeats or endure even more intense scrutiny. And everyone has already been drawn into this Evening Breeze. Precisely because of this, the real test for Evening Breeze 2 isn't daring to film it, but knowing how to control it. Providing the right emotions is a skill, overdoing it is a risk. The natural advantage of short dramas is their condensation, but condensation doesn't equal piling up. If every episode amplifies the heartbeat threshold, the audience's first numbing effect won't be their eyes, but the emotions themselves. The second season's current signal is clear: it wants to be more intense, closer, and more real, but whether it can maintain its pace in the second half is crucial to its reception. The scenes between Zhai Yiying and Wang Zhi actually create an interesting tension. She's emotionally expressive, her eyes speak volumes. He's reserved and slow to warm up, his reactions delayed. This combination isn't particularly appealing, but it feels real. Many viewers find it difficult to adapt because the short drama market has been trained for too long by high, good-looking, plus fast-paced content. When faced with emotions that require deeper reflection, they subconsciously rely on physical appearance to provide answers. However, Evening Breeze 2 clearly attempts to slow down the emotional pace, allowing ambiguity to move beyond physical distance and become a psychological closeness. Notably, the production team has begun to leave blanks in its handling of details. Several key scenes don't use dialogue to explain the relationship, instead allowing the characters to confront each other in silence. That hesitant pause carries more weight than a direct confession. Short dramas have always been criticized for their fast food feel, but when it's willing to give viewers a few seconds of silence, it's actually conveying a sense of trust. You can understand, I don't need to explain everything. Of course, risks remain. If subsequent episodes continue to add famous scenes for the sake of viewership while neglecting character logic, the emotions built up earlier could backfire. Sweet romance isn't about being as sweet as possible, nor is it about getting too close to the audience. Evening Breeze 2 is currently in a delicate position. One more step forward would be a breakthrough, and a slight imbalance would be a drain. Viewers are already hooked. The question now isn't how explosive it can be, but whether it can maintain its momentum. A deeper issue points to the ingrained thinking within the short drama ecosystem. Many teams are still stuck in the grab attention first, then worry about logic phase, ignoring the fact that audiences have been repeatedly trained and are increasingly difficult to retain with a single stimulus for long. If Evening Breeze 2 wants to go further, it must realize that emotions are not disposable but assets that need careful management. Overdoing it will only put the subsequent plot on the defensive. From a creative perspective, the completeness of character arcs is more important than iconic scenes. Viewers are willing to linger on a relationship only if they see the characters evolve, not just repeatedly kissing and misunderstanding each other. Especially with the male lead, Huo Junbei, his restraint and forbearance are strengths, but without concrete events to drive them forward, he could easily be misunderstood as wooden or cold. At this point, the support of the dramatic structure becomes crucial. Emotions must have cause and effect for intimacy to be believable. For the platform, this drama is also a litmus test. Hangguo, a Chinese short drama platform, has no shortage of popular examples in the short drama field. What it lacks are representative works that can be repeatedly discussed. Evening Breeze 2 currently has a foundation for generating buzz, but what truly determines its fate is whether it can establish a stable reputation curve in the middle of its run, rather than relying on controversy to boost fleeting popularity. Viewers aren't intolerant of flaws, they can't accept being treated perfunctorily. Ultimately, this sequel is already on the verge of being taken seriously. Criticism indicates that someone cares, controversy indicates that the work has weight. Every subsequent choice, the editing choices, the direction of promotion, the intensity of emotions, will be magnified and interpreted. Evening Breeze 2 has ignited the flames. Now, the task is not to make the fire bigger, but to make this Evening Breeze last longer, building on the emotional foundation laid in the first season. The second season presents both advantages and challenges. The addition of the adorable child character is a clever design, adding warmth and relatable details to the family dynamics, propelling the sweet romance beyond just a romantic relationship. The younger sister's storyline provides necessary conflict and progression, but it shouldn't become merely a plot machine. A good story relies on character motivations to drive events, rather than repeatedly testing the audience's patience with cliché tropes. Here are some actionable suggestions. First, the costume and makeup teams and cinematographers should make male characters look more approachable, adjusting hairstyles, clothing colors, and lighting to instantly enhance their visual appeal. Second, intimate scenes should be paced, ensuring a buffer between every two intense scenes to give the audience a break. Third, promotional material should focus on constructive content, such as character reflections and actors discussing their roles, reducing scrutiny of physical appearance. Fourth, the scriptwriting team should rigorously examine the plausibility of motivations when creating misunderstandings, avoiding filling runtime with unnecessary misunderstandings. Audience reactions reveal two things. First, short-form drama viewers crave higher emotional intensity. Second, aesthetic standards are becoming increasingly diverse. Some viewers prioritize visual appeal, while others value dramatic flair. Platforms need to bridge the gap between these two. Short video platforms like Hangguo are better suited for fragmented dissemination, but even these fragments must be connected by a core emotion, otherwise, discussions will degenerate into scattered, noisy comments. Overall, Evening Breeze 2 demonstrates both capability and ambition. It intensifies the sweet romance formula commonly used in short dramas, employing more direct audiovisual language to create immersion. With some refined adjustments to styling, pacing, and promotion, and by avoiding treating controversy as a mere traffic generator, this drama has the potential to transform its pre-order buzz into genuine word of mouth and sustained discussion. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.